Hey guys, before we get into the video, I just wanted to let you know I thought really hard about editing the video, but I'm just going to leave it after this clip. I'm going to let it roll, all mistakes and all, warts and all. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Barely Neat. I do whiskey reviews, some tips on what you can do with whiskey. Is that a preview? Maybe. I did get a mic for my last video for the short. Hopefully it's still working well and you can hear me good. If not, let me know in the comments. We'll see if we can work out some of those kinks and get the volume up to a more even level with the other YouTube videos out there that you guys might watch, so that it's not like my video is much lower. You have to keep turning the volume up, and then when you go to your next video to watch your next content creator, you're like, holy crap. Ooh, sorry, YouTube. Your ears aren't getting blown out because you had to turn it way up for my video. Getting that out of the way, I did find a really cool whiskey rating system that I want to try to implement and try to stick to, that it's going to make it a little bit easier for you to digest how I'm rating these whiskeys and what does a rating actually mean. So I sort of am stealing another content creator's rating system because I like this so much. I had in mind to do something like a 3-3-3 system for 9 points out of a 10-point scale, with the 3-3-3 being the nose, the palate, and the finish, and then the extra point being like a fun factor or a value factor, something like that. And I came across a content creator. His channel is called Whiskey Weather. You guys might have seen him. His channel's way bigger than mine. He's way more competent of a content creator at his point where he's at than I am. But I saw his rating system, which was really cool. So he does 5 2-point distribution for nose, palate, finish, and then he does mouthfeel, which I thought was a great addition to it. And then the other 2 points to round out the 10-point system would be value, which I also wanted to implement. So I think the content creator's actual name is Brandon. So from one Brandon to another Brandon at Whiskey Weather, I appreciate your system, sir, and I'm gonna rip it. Sorry. It's a great system, so I'm gonna utilize it, and hopefully it will make it easier for you guys to understand how I'm rating these bottles. And maybe you want to pick them up if they're rated highly, and maybe you don't. Maybe you're like, you know what, the value was really low on that one. I don't have a lot of pocket money this month. You know what I mean? Valentine's Day is coming up. You're going to have to get chocolate, etc., etc. You guys know how it goes. So that's the whiskey rating system that I'm going to take with me from here on out, or try to. So having said that, this is the bottle we're going to review today. I mentioned it in a short. It's the Nulu from Wall to Wall in Papillion in Shadow Lake. It's a really nice bottle of bourbon. We're going to rate it, and we're going to do it just how I said. So this bottle is interesting because instead of it just being toasted, it's finished with French oak toasted, which is a little different than your traditional just American white oak toasted. If you didn't know, there are different kinds of trees. So the nose is good on this. It is good. A lot of the French toast. A lot. A little bit of cherry. So, having said that, I'm going to give this maybe a 1.2 for the nose. And I'm writing this down so that I can remember. Let's go in for a sip. So right up front, you get this black cherry syrup right on the tip of your tongue. And then it immediately goes into spice. And then immediately after that, it starts to fade into the finish, into the French toast. Not French toast like you would make upstairs, the French toasted oak. So you're getting some caramelized sugars, almost burnt, not quite. And the French toasted oak staves have a different flavor profile than the American white oak. I would say it's I don't know if I would say sweeter, but it's going to have like less vanilla, and maybe it's this whiskey, but this one is a little spice on the spicier side, which I like. I like bold flavors. Maybe you guys don't. Maybe you like it really smooth. So this might not be for you. I like that. It's not super complex, but it has really bold flavor, which I like. So again, let's go ahead and give it I'm going to give this a 1.3 for the palate. And for the finish, since it just kind of, it sticks around, you get like, you get a little bit of leather. I'm not getting like tobacco notes. I'm not getting heavy char. It does linger for a bit though. And it does have a good mouthfeel. It's not super oily, but it's pretty good. I like it. So I'm going to go ahead and say, since the finish is really nice and long, it just kind of lingers around. I'm going to go 1.4 on the finish. In the mouthfeel, I'm going to go 1.2. It's good, but it's not mind-blowing. Not mind-blowing. Having said all that, how's the value? The value on this bottle is pretty fantastic. At that store, I think they're selling it, I might have mentioned this in the short, $33, $34. And it's a finished bottle of bourbon. It's MGP. So MGP makes great whiskey. They have a gazillion different barrels. So if they go and select those barrels, they're gonna find something good. They just make good whiskey. I know some of you might not like sourced. However, there's no denying they make good whiskey. There's just no denying that. Having said all of that, going off on a tear there about MGP, the value I feel is amazing for this bottle. So I'm going to rate it a little higher on value. I feel like that's really going to be hard to beat, considering that this bottle, I know you guys want me to use my props. This bottle comes at 114 proof. So 114 proofer, right? It is MGP, good whiskey, under the Nulu brand. This is a Nebraska exclusive as well. So, you know, exclusivity, I don't know if that even matters to you guys, but it's something you can only get in Nebraska, and you can flex on your friends that aren't in Nebraska, right? I would say the value for the money is going to be rated pretty highly. For me, I'm going to go ahead and give this a 1.7 on value. So if we add all this up, what does it add up to? Who's to say? Let's find out. So that's going to be 3. So if I did my math correctly, hopefully I did, this bottle gets a 6.8 out of 10, which is really good. It's a very good bottle of whiskey for $33. That's pretty awesome. Having said all of our tasting notes and sniffing notes, value notes, moving along, I wanted to talk to you guys about what French oak, toasted French oak staves actually are. They may have actually used a French oak barrel, but there are French toasted oak staves that you can get. I do not sell these. I'm not hawking product here yet. But I did purchase these for a little project of mine. I have a bunch of different staves, but these French oak staves that I have are a medium plus toast. So they would take it to what would normally be considered a mid toast and then go a little further. And what you could do with these little guys is you could take a bottle of whiskey that maybe you don't really like that much and experiment with it, because if you're going to pour it down the sink, well, if you're going to pour it down the sink, you might not like it at all. But if it's maybe close to that and you're like, maybe I can make a mixed drink with it, or you could maybe pick up some staves and experiment with your whiskey to kind of play with it a little and see if you can find some things that maybe you haven't discovered yet that your palate will really enjoy. So these staves, or you could do something wild, you know, go ahead and get some birch staves. You could get some cherry. There's sugar maple staves out there. They toast them for you. You can toast them yourself. There's like kits you can buy. Really cool stuff out there, guys. But what you could do is take your bottle, pour it into a mason jar, throw one of those staves in there, and you could stick it in the garage in the summertime. In the winter, you can take it in and out of the freezer to try to force the liquid in and out of the wood a little bit more, you know, and you'll see that the whiskey does change over time as it interacts with the wood, all the sugars, the fibers of the wood. You'll pull some flavors out of it, and over time, maybe weeks, maybe even like a month or two, if you pour yourself a sip or two of that, you're going to see how it's changed completely and added some new flavors. And some of the flavors that maybe you didn't like, maybe you're subtracted, they might get multiplied. You never know what's going to happen with that bottle. But over time, you can kind of develop your palate a little bit to figure out what whiskeys you may or may not like in the future. It might be helpful to you. And it's a fun project. I like to experiment with stuff. Maybe you guys too. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in me making a short on or making a whole video on. Maybe I can bring somebody in that hasn't done that before, that likes whiskey, one of my friends perhaps, and we can discuss it and show you guys kind of maybe a project or two that I've been working on that are, you know, I'm not creating a rocket surgery here. I'm just experimenting with bottles of whiskey that I think are decent, but I'm like, maybe I'll make a cocktail with it, a Manhattan or an old fashioned, or maybe I'll throw some wood in it and see what happens. That's pretty much all there is to it. So showed you guys the staves. I'll show you the bottle one more time. Pretty cool. Again, great value for that bottle, especially if you like toasted, and if you're not put off by French toasted, which if you like toasted, hopefully you wouldn't be put off by it, but you never know. I'm gonna have to probably edit this video. But I wanted to show some appreciation and just say thank you so much for everybody that has subscribed over the last week and a half, and everybody that's watched my videos. I think that's pretty cool. Let's start a conversation in the comments. What do you guys think? What do you think about my content? What do you think about the staves idea? Is that something you guys would like to see more of in the future or not? Would you guys like to see me make a cocktail? I am not a mixologist, not even close, probably closer to not mixologist than mixologist if there were a scale. However, I can make a couple of drinks pretty well. I'll just bring in a shaker, probably use my my buddy's nutrition store, Absolute Sports Nutrition on 25th and Cornhusker. I'll probably use his shaker cup that I use for my protein shakes to shake up a cocktail. Having said all of that, and having said all of that, again, thanks for watching my video, guys. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one.